How's it hanging, fellas? I'm OrosZ and this is another episode of Half-Life 2, and in today's episode, as you may notice, and I just did too. Oh my god, what? Ridiculous. What did I do? Why did I lost footage of one episode? So last episode we got to like a hidden base where the Vortigaunts and the humans were sitting together, and yeah, I'm immediately dead. And mad. And what I got this ability to summon ant lions, which is like a weird weapon I have. And then what I remember, you had to go to like a beach. I remember you had to go to like a beach with the ant lions. And what the fuck, did I lose the footage of that? How did I lose the footage of that? Jesus Christ. I think I might have been playing this for a long time when I was recording this, and maybe I fucked up and I lost the episode. Whatever. Recap time. Me and my ant lions went through a beach and we killed some people, that's about it. And now we're at this base and I'm apparently getting my ass kicked really badly. So this part of the game was really fucking annoying from what I remember. Not only I was low on health all the time, also there's a gunship flying around, annoying the fuck out of me. Because it's hard to kill it. It takes so much damage and it can actually avoid rockets if you're not careful. See, like this, it can like shoot the rocket and just make it go off course. I fucking hate it. I think I got it though. Or I didn't. But the thing is, enemies are placed so annoyingly in this part. Like they're placed in areas where you can't hit them very well and they can hit you just fine. So yeah, I guess I lost that footage of an episode. How did I not notice that when I was rendering and editing all those fucking episodes? What the fuck is wrong with me? I guess there should have been one more episode of this game. Oh man, and now that I think about it, the worst part is that I could have easily replayed that and actually get the footage of that episode that I missed. But I don't have this game anymore because it was for free for a limited time on Steam, and I don't have Half-Life 2 anymore. So for example, if I lose this video somehow, I delete it and I just fucking get rid of it, I won't be able to get it, like re-record this part of the game. I'll just be kind of stuck. That really sucks and annoys me. Oh my god, at least it's not as bad as me actually rendering one episode twice like I did in Half-Life 1. That was pretty bad. You know what, I was watching Austin Powers 2, the spy who shagged me. I don't know what's with the subtitles, but I also found out in some places it's called The Spy Who Never Dies. Yeah, also I don't know why I watched 2 and not 1. I couldn't find 1 anywhere, so I watched 2. Because I was like rendering a bunch of videos and they like took a long time, and I was like, what should I do now to kill time? I was like, I'm gonna watch a movie, but I don't want to watch like a movie that kind of requires me to sit down and analyze shit about what to do. So I just watched Austin Powers 2, and I feel like I missed out a lot from not watching Austin Powers 1, because it seems like the chick he was with in Austin Powers 1 turned out to be a robot made by Dr. Evil. And she tries to kill Austin Powers at the beginning and she blows up. Also, is there a new Austin Powers like from 2017? Because I've fucking seen some information about that and I was like, wait, what? I thought they were only 3. Yeah, if I was clever. See, here's the problem. I was trying to like throw this barrel at the spaceships, but you know what? It just kind of ended up happening. Enemies would just shoot the barrel, and since I'm holding it in front of my face, I would just get blown up. Almost hit it. Yeah, I think I blew shit up with these barrels. The alternative shot on the like combine rifle, it also deals pretty heavy damage. So if I hit if I actually hit it with the grenades or the alternative shots for the combine rifle, I would do damage to it. This part is so annoying, Jesus Christ. Like all the anger I felt during this part and annoyance, like all coming back to me slowly. This gunship's so fucking annoying. It's the worst part of this whole mission. Why are the gunships kind of acting like some kind of sea creature? It seems like they're swimming through the fucking air. That's kind of disturbing. There's a lot of, and there's two of them too. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if I ever hit the other one. Yeah, what can I say about it? I got an issue where halfway through the movie, my internet went out. And I was like, oh man. So I came back like 4 hours later to watch it. So I kind of like the first part. So I think at the end of Austin Powers 1, that takes place in the 90s. I think what they do is they go back in time in the second one to the 60s, to 1969. And I think they go back. I don't remember what the fuck was the reason they went back in time. Because Dr. Evil went back in time and they tried to stop him in the past. And so Dr. Evil's evil plan was to make a giant laser on the moon and blow up American cities until they pay him like $1 trillion. And Austin had a thing where like he was working together with like an American spy, and her name was Felicity. She was all hot and shit. And I think she was from the 60s. And she knew that like a spy from the future was coming. And at the end I think he took her from the 60s to the 90s. Austin Powers always kind of reminded me that was, I don't know, kind of like a similar premise as Johnny English. It was like a British spy and it was a comedy. Except with Austin Powers, I think it's like even more ridiculous. But at least Rowan Atkinson actually seems like a pretty confident spy, like he knows his stuff. He's just very silly. While Austin Powers seems like he might be a good spy, but he's most importantly a giant goof. And also hit with the ladies, which I think is supposed to be the joke, that he's kind of like a really goofy character and he's kind of like a dork. Yet every girl wants to fuck him. And it's like to make the audience feel bad, like, oh, you don't fucking have nobody and you're nowhere near as dorky and awkward as this guy. And yet still nobody wants you. I always thought that was a funny joke when they did it in like Asterix and Obelix did that, I think, or in one of the movies. There was this like old man and he had like a young hot wife. And he was like this old man who was just like almost dead, but his wife was like, I think like genuinely loved him, or she actually wanted, it wasn't like she wanted to inherit something, so she like married him so he would die and then she would get all his money, because I don't think he even had any money, so I think she like genuinely liked him. That was like a joke, I guess, that she was in love with this like old man. So that was similar, I guess. Yeah, and my most hated part of the movie must be like scenes involving Fat Bastard, because he's literally called Fat Bastard and he's so fucking disgusting and gross, which he admits to and that he feels super bad about, and at the end, which I think is the only good scene with him, the only one that didn't gross me out, where he just kind of admits that, you know, he's super unhappy with himself and that's why he eats. He's sad, so he eats, and he eats because he's sad. No, he eats so he's sad, and he's sad so he eats, so it's kind of like a never-ending loop. And that's why he's so fat, because he's fucking depressed. And he tried to kill them, and there was a scene where Felicity was trying to like put a tracking device in his ass, so she had to like have sex with him, and they were in bed together, and he was just like covered in grease and like chicken. It was so disgusting, and you can see him without a shirt. Even Dr. Evil says that just the mere thought of him naked fucking makes him want to vomit. And the fact that we actually, as the audience, had to fucking witness that, it's pretty gross. At least the only comforting fact was I always keep thinking about is that the fact that the guy playing him isn't really that fat, it's just like a bunch of, it's like a costume. So at least with the bed scene, Philip didn't have to worry about a giant, disgusting naked guy fucking laying next to her. So we're in prison now, and there are these turrets, which seem to be kind of reminiscent of these Portal turrets. Wait, no, because Portal came out after this game. So it's the opposite. It's trying to get it closer to me. Yes, you know what, I could have at least tried to reset the shadows in this location, because look how bright it looks. This location's pretty long from what I remember. So it took me a couple of episodes to go through. And honestly, every single scene with Dr. Evil and his like evil team, those were the best parts in my opinion, when you could just see they're like gathering and what they're discussing. It was really funny. Number 2, I don't get why his name is Number 2. Is it like a reference to shit? That he's shit? He has an eye patch. And there's like the Frau lady? I don't know, she's like German and she's like an evil Nazi lady. And there's a scene, because, oh, that's another part of the Dr. Evil's plan. He stole... Apparently in the 60s, Austin Powers was frozen. So I guess they could refreeze him later. So Fat Bastard took... No wait, in the night... Fucking, I can't think of this fucking time travel shit is so complicated because there's like 2 Austins. And one's frozen, one's not. And which one was frozen, I don't remember. Yeah, so Fat Bastard took Austin Powers' mojo, as he called it. Which was, I guess, his fucking spirit-like kind of deal. It's the thing that made him even want to do anything. But as it turns out later in the movie, he had it with him all along because I guess it's like just because he absorbed like a portion of his mojo doesn't mean that his body doesn't generate more mojo. Which was the thing. I was like, what, does he have like a limited amount of mojo inside of him? Can't he just like? Isn't it like a part of him? Can't he just simply, you know, like, I don't know, take a break for one day and then regenerate all the mojo? I don't know, that's fucking weird. Yeah, and he took it and he injected himself with it, so he became just as, well, horny as Austin Powers. And Dr. Evil, I mean, he became horny. And he gets sex with Frau. And I was thinking, because at later point, I really like the fucking first scene with Dr. Evil, when it's his son Scott who comes. Scott's like this skater dude. He's like blue hair and he wears like these totally cool, radical 90s clothes. And he's the son of Dr. Evil. So he kind of points out how stupid his plans are. And I guess he also wants to like actually get along with his dad, because his dad got a clone who's the midget Dr. Evil. He's like Lil and he's called Mini-Me, and he likes him more than his actual son. So they have like a rivalry going on, his son and the Mini-Me. And I explained this movie, but it's so fucking sounds so stupid, and it's like who's who, who's what, why is there time travel involved, what the fuck? Yeah, and what else? Oh, and I was wondering, is like Frau actually Scott's mother or not? Is his mother ever like mentioned? Is it actually Frau? Because they have sex in the 90s. That Dr. Evil, no wait, Dr. Evil from the 90s goes back to the 60s, where they already expected him, I guess. And it's not more complicated than I thought. It's fucking hard to explain. Matrix wasn't as hard to explain as this shit. So he from the 90s goes back to the 60s and he has sex with Frau because then he injected himself with the mojo. And I was like, oh, so this like an explanation because his son also came from the 90s to the 60s. So maybe in the 60s, Dr. Evil had sex with the Frau lady, and she had a son who maybe she later abandoned or something, and maybe he doesn't know it's his mother. I don't fucking know. It's complicated shit, dude. And maybe in the 90s when like Scott and Dr. Evil reunite. I don't know if Scott was in the first movie because I haven't fucking seen it because I couldn't find it anywhere. But I feel like if I watched the first movie, not just the second one, I probably would have known a lot more shit that's been happening. Yeah, and Dr. Evil has a lair in a volcano with his face shaped on it, and he has a penis-shaped rocket. That's a funny joke. I think my favorite scene in the whole movie was when they were in a tent, and Dr. Evil's soldiers were like watching from outside of the tent while Austin was like looking at a map, and Felicity was like pulling stuff out of a bag, and the perspective from the soldiers' perspective, it made it look like she was pulling all this stuff out of his ass. She was pulling like an umbrella out of his ass, like a long rope, grenades. It was really fucking funny. Yeah, and at first I didn't like the mini-me. I thought it was like, oh, it's like a midget Dr. Evil and he like doesn't speak. It's kind of fucking weird. This cat trap's coming with me. But later there was this, when Austin had a fight. When Austin had a fight against Mini-Me, there was a funny bit when he was like fucking hitting Mini-Me against the pipe. He was just basically holding like a doll version of Mini-Me. Are these guys on my side or not? I can't tell anymore, like they were evil before and now they're good, I guess. I'm being kind of fucked right now. The turret in front of me. Never mind, I got it. It's a no-depth run. You know, with much of that, I was talking about Rayman 3 last episode of my Let's Play of it. I would love if that was a no-depth run Let's Play, because I almost made it a no-depth run Let's Play. There's a point in the game where Globox is... There's like a funny bit where Globox, like, for a moment in the game becomes self-aware that he's in a video game. Like, nothing happens to him, it seems like he was always aware of that, and he just doesn't really care. And he starts, like, talking about how many polygons he's made out of, how many animations he has. And he at some point calls himself a marvel of computer animation. Which I admit it's like a good animation, but I wouldn't call it a marvel. Anyway, my eyes fucking hurt, what the fuck. And he asks you, he says something like, if you still think Rayman's so cool, then ask yourself this, how many times have he died from the beginning of the game? And I haven't died a single time. Until the very end, where there's like a really stupid, in my opinion, a really shitty out of place that shouldn't be in there in the first place. Turret section, where you fly a ship, and it sometimes switches between you flying a ship and you using the gun on the ship. So it switches between these two like modes, and I think it's really shitty. That's probably the shittiest part of this game. Even though Rayman 3 is an amazing game, and if you ask me to, if it turns out I love the footage of it, and I would have to go through it again, I'd be like, okay, I'm willing to go through it again, because I love this fucking game. Yeah, and I don't know what else to bring up. I got a feeling Rayman 2 will be more annoying to go through, because in Rayman 2 there's a lot of stuff that isn't as cool. There's these missile sections, and I got a feeling I'm gonna have a lot of trouble with those. For a experimenting on a Vortigaunt. I think they killed him. I feel like those are gonna fucking infuriate me. I got a revolver. What the fuck am I trying to do? Yeah, so, I don't know. Austin Powers too. It's a funny movie. I still prefer the like comedic style of like Naked Gun, where everybody's super fucking serious in the movie, but really silly shit's happening to them. You know, where like people are saying like ridiculous stuff and doing something stupid, and there's a lot of like background jokes. Well, this movie was more like just like everybody was having a laugh, especially Austin. He was like laughing in the movie himself a lot. Like he didn't took it very seriously what he was doing. I don't know, it's still funny. Just, I don't know, like not as much funny as Naked Gun. I still love Naked Gun so fucking much. What the hell happened to this guy? Was that him in the drawer? I don't think that was him. It looked kind of like a mangled up dead body. Oh jeez, my throat already hurts. There's like still an hour of this. Of me recording this shit. So, Battle Block Theater, should that be my next series? I really want to watch these fucking Lego animations that I was just talking about yesterday. I want to rewatch them. I learned a lot of swear words watching those animations as a kid. I remember when I was in kindergarten, like the meanest thing I knew how to call people was a jerk. And to think that at some point I was afraid to call someone a jerk because I might like offend them a lot, and I wouldn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Nowadays it's just like I wouldn't even call anyone a jerk. I would just go straight to calling them a stupid pile of fucking garbage or something like that. A jerk? I don't think I even ironically call anyone a jerk. I don't think I even like intentionally fucking said jerk in a long time. Like I actually meant it as a fucking insult. Oh look, they're coming in. Oh, they're dead. Too fucking bad. You know what, I felt like I didn't put enough Combine soldiers in the thumbnails. Because they're really, like, their suits are kind of iconic for Half-Life series, but like, I didn't put them on the thumbnails? What am I, a dumbass? Dumbass? Or did I know that I am? I think my ant lions are gone and there's just one left. Can I summon them from somewhere? I don't know. I would have checked if I was playing the game right now, but what I've done back then when I was recording this is done and I just can't change anything. So if I ever miss like a really obvious secret where I could have gotten something cool, I'm not gonna be able to go back and be like, oh yeah, check it out, you can actually do that. I think this was clever, I used the box cover. But I kinda fucked up with those two more first. I remember this was a... Jesus, like, throwing shit around like a dumbass. Ooh, I'm really fucked, am I? So this is the part that I find really annoying. There's a turret, but it's sitting behind a wall. It's sitting behind like a shield. Whoops. So I couldn't really do anything about it. No wait, did I actually did something about those? Man, grenades in this game are so fucking annoying to use. Look, these guys are spawning in automatically. There we go, I got rid of one. I got rid of both of them with my lance grenade, that's nice. And I'm like, I got no health left. So I think right now I went on a big hunt to get more health out of anything. What the fuck is that? It's like a green square in the ground. I don't know what else to bring up. It was snowing yesterday, and it was for a while it was really beautiful. Because I was really disappointed. Like 2 years ago, it was like snowing all fucking winter, and it looked really nice. And not only it snowed all winter, but I remember it was a really funny thing. Like an hour before Christmas, it just began like a blizzard fucking happened. And when I was going to my grandparents' place to have the fucking dinner, right, Christmas dinner, I was going through the snow and it was just like so nice, and it actually felt like fucking Christmas for once in this stupid ass place that I fucking live in. But this year, all it was just raining. I don't know, global warming, I guess it's not cold enough up there for there to be any snow. But it actually fell yesterday, and it was like snowing really heavily, and I was like, wow, I gotta fucking finish these shitty ass Let's Plays of Borderlands specifically. And then I gotta... See, this is the place where this like big guy is, and I don't wanna go back there. But I might not have a choice, because I'm out of fucking health. Unless that alien's gone. It's a possibility that it's gone because I went through its part and maybe it like disappeared. But still, I got stuck here for a while because I had no idea what to do about this force field. So I don't know if I cut out the part where I actually take care of it. Thankfully the force field doesn't deal damage to me. But as you can see, there's a wire. And I think it had something to do with that wire, and it took me a while to realize that. I thought it maybe had something to do with the ground. But these are just like the blocky paths that the antlions are coming out of. So that doesn't really do anything. What I should have done is to like actually look at this cable, and I think it leads to somewhere. Maybe perhaps I had to like guide my antlions in that direction, and they would have taken care of it. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know what the fuck I had to do. I'm just as lost looking at myself being lost. Like, I don't know where the fuck I'm meant to do. I guess it's been a while since I actually recorded this, so now the game isn't as fresh as in my mind as it was before. See, it seems like they can't go through the force field. Also, this weapon I have an infinite amount of, so that's cool. You know, when I first bought Gary's mod, I was like, I bought it with the intention of like, oh, I'm gonna make the animations with it. But man, it's so fucking, it's more to than just having Gary's mod. Gary's mod isn't like an animation fucking program. Source Filmmaker is. Oh, that's what I was gonna bring up before I, in last episode when I was talking about my early YouTube attempts. One of my earliest YouTube attempts was a Source Filmmaker animation channel, because for a while I remember that I used to think like, oh man, I wish Source Filmmaker was for free, and then my friend was like, but it is for free. I was like, what? No fucking way. And when I found out it's for free, I downloaded the thing on my dad's computer, because my dad had a better computer. So I sat down in my dad's like room, like kind of like an office he had at the time. Now he doesn't. And he is on his computer. I downloaded Source Filmmaker on my Steam account, and I was making animations, and I never got... I knew the basics, so I could like make a spy move his arms around the way he doesn't do normally in the game. I got all the way here, and I gotta refight all the enemies. That's kind of a bummer, if I'm being honest. Yeah, and one of my animations was about... You know, there was on Hightower in Team Fortress 2, there was a team of blue and a team of red. And there was like an evil spy wizard. You know this fucking taunt animation for when Spy holds a knife? So I gave him the icicle, and I made him do these animations as if he's casting spells with a wand. And he was turning people into the opposite teams. For example, there was a moment where where a medic, like a red medic, was healing a red heavy, and then the spy turned the medic into blue. So the now blue medic killed the red heavy and stuff like that. And he was going around turning people evil, or the opposite team. And there was, I think the main character was like a other spy from the other team. And there was and a sniper. And I don't remember how I just remember that it ended with them pushing the evil wizard spy off the tower, and he fell on a cactus and died. And then they all became friends. Yeah, and the problem with these animations, I couldn't upload them to YouTube, and I really hate that I don't have those files, because I would still, if I found those I would still upload. The Lego animations I made when I was like a little kid, and they were like, visually they were alright, but like the stories were really stupid, and the dialogue I made by just talking was also really dumb. So I think what I would have done, I wouldn't want to fucking upload these Lego animations because they're just so stupid. But if I found these source filmmaker ones, I would totally do it. And I don't have them anymore, unfortunately. And I don't feel like remaking these animations. I made some more ones. I made one where like Sniper got scared and he then ran off and fell off a cliff. That was it. I don't know why I liked Hightower. Because for some reason on Source Filmmaker not all the maps are available. I think you have to download like mods to Source Filmmaker for the rest of the maps. So I was using like the default setup of items you can use in Source Filmmaker, and I was kept making animations in Hightower for some reason. And they were all TF2 animations. Oops, I didn't notice the video's ending. See you fellas in the next episode, bye.